up guys, it's Lucky here and I am in the Bodyline Fitness studio, as you can see. Yes. So today is something really, wouldn't say exciting, but I know you guys are going to benefit from it. It's a bit of an educational lesson today for mix it up and do it in, because I have been seeing and getting asked now a lot, because it's obviously the trend that is going around now, and it's all about the glutes. That is right, your glutes, the bum, the booty, whatever else, the peachy, whatever else you want to call it. That is what we're going to be targeting today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pretty much show you a good, nice sort of routine that specifically activates that muscle area there to allow you to pretty much grow it, shape it, tone it, do whatever. Obviously I'll tell you a bit more details as we go through it, but I do have installed about maybe 5 to 6 exercises that will really help target the area. So without further ado, let's begin and we'll go and get set up for the first one. Alright, so the first one that we're actually going to be doing is a reverse lunge. Now the reason why that we're going to be doing a reverse lunge instead of going into a normal stepping forward lunge or a stationary one is to purely activate, or have the glute activated throughout the whole movement. Don't know what happened there. Anyway, so pretty much from that, what I mean is this, guys. So say for this demonstration right here, pretty much going to be activating the left leg. So what I'm going to be doing is from here, we're obviously going to be taking a nice step back. When we take a step back, obviously everyone's got different heights and lengths and whatnot, but you obviously want a good, nice length. Right, normally for someone about my height, I'm sitting at about 175 or something, or 176 centimeters in height. Normally to 1.5 meter stance, you know, so I'm normally the size of just one of these mats, or 1.5 of the length of these mats. From here, what we're going to do is, as we step down, then we're obviously going to drop nicely down into that lunge. Right, now the whole concept and reason of this is that this leg here, the left leg, is always going to be nicely loaded, right? That is why we're stepping into the reversal, because then when we come up and we're pushing forward, we're then moving our right leg in, and the left leg is still going to be nicely loaded with our weight. So again, from here, coming down, getting that good distance, we're going to drop down, right? So bending the back knee, trying to make it go straight down, right? Creating a 90 degree angle within the knee right here, right? Very important, guys, that when we're doing this is that you don't want to go too far forward, so you never want your knee to sort of pass your toes, right? So if I look down and I drop down, you can see here it's nice flat, my toes are here. You never want to go forward for them passing, all right? No show, no good. So anyway, guys, just drop it back, come down, get that good squeeze, activate up, bring it forward, then down, up, forward. Alrighty. Alright, so you can see I've got some toys set up here. So the next exercise that we are going to be doing is a barbell hip thrust or glute thrust, whichever you want to call it. So first off, with this, what we're actually going to be doing is we're not going to be doing it off the floor. You actually get a better, deeper activation if you use the bench. So what I've done here, obviously I've got lightweight on the bar just purely for this demonstration, but if you were to be doing this and you're going to be lifting some big gangster weight up, I always recommend putting a bit of like dumbbells or a stopper or a blocker behind the bench, because it allows you then to, when you gotta lift up, the bench ain't gonna slide or flip or do anything ridiculous in that manner. As you can see here, I've got the barbell set up. It's always nice to have a bit of padding, because I'm not gonna lie, it does dig you into the hips. Alright, now with this one, it is extremely important because, how do I say, I see a ton of people do this. When you're actually lifting the bar up, right, I want to like pretty much explain it without the bar guys first, and then pretty much show you the exercise and get into it, because I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be hard to balance and explain when you're running a solo man show. If I had a little dummy here and you know, an apprentice with me, that would have been really, really fun to work on and teach, but we don't have that right now, so it's just gonna be me. So getting onto the bench, right, let's not get too distracted. So pretend like you're here, you're gonna nicely roll the bar across, it's gonna go nicely onto your hips, you're gonna get your legs nicely saddled up. Now a lot of people, like, I can't even do this correctly because for me it just feels extremely awkward, but from here they tend to just like, I can't even do it, but they tend to just like lift up straight away from there. So they come down and they lift up from there. What's actually happening is, if you look at the biomechanics and the alignments of gait, what's happening is that you're shooting your hips out in that direction, right? You actually, in order to get full activation of your glute and hammies, you want to thrust it straight up, right? But a lot of the time is people, what happens is, like I said, they sort of get here and they try and lift up from here, and then they use the edge of the bench as the support. As you can see here through my demo, see how as soon as I get up, see how my hips have to go forward this way in order to get up and get that thrust, right? That is not going to get you 100% activation into your glutes. What you actually want to do is get in position. So pretend again, roll the bar over, get it in. Now, make it tough and challenging, you know. So from here, we're actually going to lift up and you're going to slide back onto the bench. Now from here, what that actually allows you to do is, when you slide onto the bench, is when I drop down with my hips, see how as I come up onto the bench, my hips are going straight down here. I'm able to thrust up, get good activation through the hammies, and then obviously activating nicely into the glutes. So we're going to drop it straight down here, and then whoosh, straight up, and then down and up. And then you can see here my back, or shoulders mainly, and upper back is nicely supported onto the bench. Right? That's what we want. So let's go into some exercises. Moving on. I don't know, I'm gonna try and add some special effects to that, so don't worry. If it fails, you just see my hand coming to the camera, alright? But next one, guys, is pretty much gonna be a goblet squat. So the beauty about goblet squat is that obviously it allows to get a nice activation as like any sort of squat does. The thing is with a goblet, the thing that I actually like about it is the clearance of where you're gonna be holding the weight. So what that means is, obviously with a goblet, stay right there. Wow, just beat out of nowhere. So beauty about it is we hold it like this, like a nice goblet. So when we're holding it, here we go. You got that? Beautiful, great teamwork. Here we go. All right guys, pay attention, yeah? So goblet, right? So from here, hold it nice and close to your chest. Now when we're holding on it like this, versus if you're holding two dumbbells by your side, is obviously the weight distribution and the gait perception of where the center of mass is going to be hanging and going with, all right? So obviously that, when this is closer up to the chest, right? When you go down, you're going to have a much deeper and more explosive thrive up versus when if the weights are like literally hanging down by your side. So it's very similar to as if you would have, you know, a barbell on your back, except that allows you to lean a bit more forward. With the goblet, what's going to happen is, in this little demonstration, as you're going to see, we're going to first start off with shoulder width apart, right? Holding the dumbbell into your elbow close to your chest. Elbows are going to be nicely tucked in, and then what we're going to be doing is still going to be squatting down nicely, coming down, and then up. Beautiful. So what we do is we're going to try and keep that chest up nice, right? Now as you can see, my lean forward is not as much as if I was having a barbell on my back, because obviously you've got a barbell on your back, you've got to have a bit more lean forward so the barbell doesn't fall off, right? Beauty about this bad boy is that the weight's right in front of you. So from here, I get to go down, keeping the chest up nicely, really power through and squeeze nicely through those glutes there. Obviously, in order to get a proper good activation squeeze, we are gonna be pushing through heel to mid-foot. All right, guys, I don't want to see people doing this, seeing too many of them. They come up and whoa, they're doing some sort of thing like, I don't know, like trying to go hee and pop it, right? We don't want any of that, right? What we want is that explosive power through the heels and mid-foot, coming down and up nicely. Down, back, straight, chest up, boom! That's what we're talking about. So, let me get something a bit heavier and I'll show you exactly what we're on about. Okay, so this next one, right, is a double whammy. And what I mean by double whammy is that we got 2 exercises for you. Not 1, not 3, but 2, right? What I like to do with this one personally into my routines is sort of rotate these exercises around. If you guys have enough time, then by all means combine these together in the same workout. It's going to be awesome. You will feel the burn. What I am talking about here, as you can probably see with the bar set up, so that means barbell, bent leg, and straight leg deadlifts. So with this one here, obviously we're going to start. Let me just start talking about first the bent leg deadlift. So obviously with this one, it is mimicking a squat action, except this time the bar's going to be nicely down in front of you. So when we're going in for it, right, what we're going to do, guys, is we're pretty much going to be in shoulder width apart. Now, when we're going shoulder width apart, I personally like to have my hands on the outside of my knees, so on the outside of my thighs. Why? Purely because when I bend down, I want that nice clearance and I want to come back straight up with it. So as you can see, guys, it's straight like a squat, bending down and coming up. Now, to get a bit more of a glute activation and to really power and accelerate through, right, what I like to do is when you get to the top is get a nice actual good squeeze from your glutes. So pretty much you sort of want to try and like get like a little bit of a thrust movement forward to finish, and then drop back down, up, thrust, and finish. It's only a couple of mils, guys. Like you don't see me, I'm not like talking, do something radical like that. I'll try and do Matrix 2.0 or something, right? I'm literally just talking about squatting down nicely, again, powering through your heels to mid-foot range, right? No one going on the toes or anything. And then literally from here, so guiding up with your chest, breathing out on the way up, and always like, a little trick to keep your chest up is literally to sort of look up. So as I come down, I like to sort of look up. If I guide with my chin, it's going to naturally pull up my chest, so that way I get good balance and up we go. So that is the bent leg deadlift. I'm going to quickly do a few demos, right, and then we'll get into the straight leg. Okay, so what you just saw there, bent leg. Now what we're going to do is go nicely straight into the straight leg deadlift. I just did a bit of a tongue twister. I realized I said straight twice. Probably sounded a bit confusing. I do apologize. Just came out that way. All right. So really with this one, guys, obviously with this one here, what we're doing is, because the leg's going to be nice and straight, it's a bit more of a hamstring activation. So everyone knows that with the bent leg, obviously your driving force, yes, it's a full leg routine, but obviously the primary muscles in that are your quads and glutes. Now, when we reverse it, go into a straight leg and keep those legs nice and straight, and then when we're leaning forward, we're going to be putting the hamstrings nicely on stretch, so we're going to be using that there, and of course, the glutes as well. So this is what I was saying before earlier, that this is a really good twister that if you want, you know, to combine both of them, you can, but I usually do these on a rotational cycle, so that way hammies and quads are getting worked out nice and evenly, right? You just don't always want to do bent leg, and you don't always want to do just straight leg, all right? Mix it up, guys. Now, with this one here, because it is with a bit of a leaning forward, there is a trick to this to obviously execute the movement correctly, and guys, that is simply throwing your hips back. All right. Now, what I mean by that is because obviously we're going to be bending in forward, right? So obviously we're going to be keeping the back nice and straight. We're still going to be shoulder width apart. Again, with this one here, I personally like my hands outside of my thighs. So pretend the bar is nicely here, outside of the thighs. So that way, when I lean in forward, then I can get the nice activation through the hammies. Now, with this here, what I mean by sinking the hips back is that we want a soft lock bend in the knees, right? So we don't want to lock out the legs nice and straight. We want a nice little bend there. But that is all they're going to move. Because then from here, I'm going to lean in forward. Now, as you can see, when I'm leaning in forward, first thing is to make sure that the back is nice and straight, guys. All right? Nice and straight. Right? Then from here, right, the hips are going to sink back. Right? So as this hip sink back, I'm going to come forward. Now, the further I go forward, the more pulled I am going to get in my hamstrings. So from here, guys, I'm going to come down nicely. Obviously, guys, go down to your flexibility levels. All right? I just trained legs the other day. Mine are tight. I'm only going to go there because I can feel it. Right? So from here, coming down, always past the knees is always a nice good sign. That is a good stretch. But as you can see, I haven't bent the knees more than I have, and I'm sinking my hips back that way there. Back is still nice and straight. Bar will be down in front of me here. As I come up, obviously going to straighten up with the back. But like I said, guys, it's sort of similar to what we were going to do with the bent leg, is that I want that nice little squeeze in the glutes. So when we come up nice and straight, boom, get that little squeeze. It's only going to be a couple of mils movement, but it's going to have a nice deep activation for you. So we're going to do a couple of sets and get this thing rolling. Alrighty, so as this is slowly coming to an end, guys, be patient. Right, this is the last exercise I'm going to show you for today. It is pretty much a single leg lunge. Single leg because we're going to have our back leg up on the bench. It's that simple. So, it's actually a really good one for coordination and balance. Because purely your one leg's up on the bench and the other one's down in front. I really highly suggest, guys, that you first you do it with body weight, get the feel of it, get the balance, and then slowly, if you want to overload and stuff, get like what you saw before earlier with the goblet squat. You hold a goblet position with the dumbbell, you come up, and then you can like drop back down. But with this one, guys, the trick is to this, where a lot of people get it wrong, is that you actually want to sink your body backwards towards the bench. Now, the further you sink towards the bench, the more you're going to get your leg and glute on stretch, pretty much the quad area, because obviously it's like a lunge, it's going to be dropping down, it's going to have a nice separation between the quads and the hammies, you'll see that, and then obviously a good squeeze in your glute muscle right there. So the way I like to set up first is obviously like a bit like a meter distance away, because guys, don't forget it is a lunge, so go back to your lunge basic principles of setting up. You don't want your knees passing your toes. You want to be pushing off the heel of your foot, and you want to be breathing out on the way up. Obviously keep the core nice and tight, your back straight, and obviously finding your balance there. So here, I'm obviously going to try and put my leg onto the bench first. Remember one thing, and that is, guys, when you do put your foot onto the bench, the most comfortable position in order to get like just a smooth movement through it and stuff is to actually have, as you can see here, the ankle on the edge, right? So on the edge here, flat foot, right? On the top of your foot, nice and flat. Do not go on your toes. If you try to go on your toes and you try and bend down, it's going to get very uncomfortable. Flat, guys. So that way, as I come down, see, I got support, I can put my weight on there, and it's nice and comfortable for me, okay? So that is a really good thing to obviously watch out for. So please keep that in mind, guys. It's very, very important. Anyway, moving on back to that demo. So we're gonna find that balance first. So I'm actually gonna load up my back leg first. I wanna find that nice balance, make sure I'm nice and balanced here. Then from here, as you can see, you find your balance and your position, so that way when you actually do drop down, you're going to be at a 90-degree angle, with the legs, and then be able to sort of thrust up a bit. So you'll come down nicely, you hit that 90, get that good squeeze, power all the way up. Down and up nicely, coming through there, alright? Obviously guys, do it to the number of sets you want. Like I said, to make it harder, use a goblet squat. And what we're going to get into now is a proper full set, right? And I'll show you exactly how it's done. Alright guys, so there you have it, 5/6 exercises there to target the glutes very, very nicely. I hope you guys enjoyed that. With anything that is, again, with the weights and all that, go to what you can do, and then obviously progress it and go further up. In terms of repetition, guys, all those types of exercises there, you can vary it from 8 reps all the way up to about 15 reps if you want that high-end volume, right? Obviously 8 for the higher loading, so heavier weights, all the way up to that 15 with lighter weights. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really love all the support and whatnot. Obviously, if you got any questions, feel free to comment down below. Our contact details will be in the description area, so obviously just hit up that. My support team will be there willing to answer any questions that you may have. As always, guys, please hit that little bell notification so you can get notified when we upload these videos. If you'd like to see something a bit more specific, or you'd like me to demonstrate and do obviously sort of vlog action on an exercise or a body part, please let me know. I'm more than happy to do that. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you guys. As always, again, thank you so much. I'm out for now, so like, share, subscribe. You know what to do. Boom, I'm out. See ya.